doctor that can fix that for you.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Highly advised.
Is that
Oh yeah, took care of that. No
there you
more.
go.
We're not hitting
All right.
5.
Yeah.
And we're not going to really get into talking about snip, snip, snip. But Wojo, if you're a little scared on it, I'm backing Craig on this one. I'm like, it's probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
I have 3 or 4 people that I look at, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? These guys, they have all the tangibles. They're focused. They're laser focused. Like, what are some of the things you look at from somebody that's coming into the business that you can just see right off day one that if they just put their head down, they're going to be a power player in the game?
I'm Vernon. I run the top mortgage brokerage in Massachusetts with over 20 years of experience.
I'm Craig. I've done $100 million consistently since my second full year in the business, and I'm Massachusetts' top mortgage broker. We're the Mortgage Daddies, with real advice, real stories, and real results.
Let's get going.
Welcome back, Mortgage Daddies. We got our special friend here today, John Wojo. I call him Wojo.
Yeah.
You can tell everybody your real last name because I'll butcher it.
Sure. Yeah. John Wojtowicz.
There you go.
John Wojtowicz. Yeah, we were all would have butchered that. Since the day I met him, I thought his last name was Wojo the whole time. I thought his first name was Wojo. I thought he was like Madonna. He just went by Wojo.
I don't think I've ever called you anything else.
Most people only call me Wojo. That's been the theme for a long time. So actually, I remember this kid in high school came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, man, I was talking to my friends about you the other day, and I had no idea who you were because they kept calling you John." and he was like, "I thought his name was Wojo." I'm like, "No, it's actually John." But yeah, most people think it's that.
Well, welcome, Wojo. We're finally happy to get you onto the show and pick your brain and figure out all the good stuff Wojo does owner of Remax over here in New Bedford. Got a bunch of agents sending business over. Tell us how'd you get into real estate? Because I know you got a lot going on. You're an investor. You do some flips. You're always doing flips. You're doing some wholesale stuff. Maybe we'll get into wholesale about, what is wholesale? I don't think we've had a guest on that really described how wholesaling works.
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about whatever you want to talk about,
Yeah, let's start off with how you got into real estate, because I know you have a pretty cool background on how you even got into that piece.
Yeah. Well, real estate kind of fell into my lap. I was doing the corporate America thing for a while. I got my degree from UMass, and I thought I was going to work for a big company and just work my way up, and that was just the way to do things. And after working for some bigger corporations like Tesla and Vivint, and going through just so many changes with the companies and big layoffs on massive scales across the country and asking me to relocate to Texas and crazy things, I was like, I don't really like having other people in control of my destiny. And I did not want to move to Texas.
I can see you with a cowboy hat, though.
Yeah, no,
I think it'd be right up your alley.
I've been watching all of the Yellowstone stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the 1881, the 1921 in Yellowstone. So I could probably get into that lifestyle.
I love it.
But I definitely wasn't ready for it. So, yeah, after kind of just going through that, I took a severance instead of taking the relocation. And then I said, I'm just going to start working for myself. So I got my insurance licenses. I was doing New York Life for a little bit. And then I got into real estate pretty much at the same time. And the reason why I picked those 2 industries is because I looked it up online. I was like, how do you make the most money working for yourself in sales? And it was everything pointing to insurance and real estate. Yeah. Obviously, mortgages you could do really well, too. It's real estate related. But, yeah, so I dived into both of them, tried them both out, and just loved real estate. It just kind of became natural to me. It was during the boom, COVID and everything, when we thought the world was going to shut down, but real estate
just skyrocketed.
So, yeah, it worked out well. I aligned myself with some of the really good people at the time, and I got really lucky. I mean, I think I just met a lot of really good people, took advantage of good relationships.
When did you start getting into the wholesale side of things?
That was a little bit more recent. When I started doing flips and stuff,
yeah.
There would be deals that I would pick up and I would say, well, maybe I don't really want to close on this one, or geographically it's going to be too far to get guys out there, or whatever the case may be. So I started looking at how could I give this deal to somebody else, which is basically what wholesaling is, right? You wrap up a contract and then you sell that contract to somebody else. Very simple concept. But you can make good money quick. It's a fast transaction,
For the people watching this worldwide, I joke around about that all the time. Worldwide. Wholesaling's always intrigued me, but on the flip side of things, I don't want everybody who's watching to say, I'm going to just get into wholesaling, right? Because it really does sound like, hey, I'm going to go to an auction or buy a house and I can sell the contract for $25K over what I paid for it. But there, in my opinion, like wholesaling comes with a lot of risk.
Absolutely.
The reward is there.
Absolutely.
But out of the whole entire real estate kind of thing where you want to jump into, that wholesale side to me has always looked like, yeah, it's very attractive. You can lose your shirt on that.
Oh, I see people do it all the time. You know, I had this one kid calling me up. I haven't talked to him in like a few weeks. I should probably reach back out to him. He's like a young kid, and he just called me with like this fire in his voice. I could feel his energy. I'm like, I really like this guy, but he was like trying to wholesale deals that were like advertised on MLS. You know what I mean? So he was like, "Hey man, I got this. I think I can get this house for like $320. What do you think?"
It's listed for
like,
$325.
pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much what was going on. So I gotta reconnect with that kid and see if I can help him steer him in the right direction. But yeah, people have this, false expectation that they're just gonna come in, pick up a house, and then they're gonna be able to sell it quick. What if you can't find a buyer?
Yeah.
Then what do you do at that point?
What if the
You gotta
market
close on it,
changes?
or you're gonna lose your
Or you lose
deposit?
your deposit,
Yeah.
But it's definitely not something that everybody should get into. You should have some other sources of income. I don't think you should just stop everything you're doing and say
You
this
got
is
to have
gonna
a
be my
general
life.
idea
But
about the market and
you got to
the
know
cost of
property too.
things,
You
yeah.
got to be able to
Location.
identify like problems in a house. If you're just looking at a house because you think it looks pretty, like, you're in the
You're
wrong
done.
business. Like, you have to be able to look at heating systems, electrical. You have to know if the roof is good. You got to be able to look for some type of major structural things like that, which is stuff that like I teach all my agents stuff like that too. I think it's really important to be able to. If you're going to be selling a house, it's kind of like if you were selling a product.
yeah,
Right.
you need to know about the product.
Essentially, right? Say you came up with a product, like you're one of these Shark Tank guys. You come up with this beautiful product. You're proud of it. You're marketing it. You're standing behind your product. In real estate, we're selling things, right? But we're not selling our product. I'm selling your product, your house. You know what I mean? So it's different. So for me, I need to be able to kind of, understand that. I think, and not just, hey, we like the color or the fireplace or look at the yard. Can you imagine walking down the stairs on Christmas? Your tree would be here.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that. You should be able to pick stuff up.
Yeah, I would think that that's probably something that a lot of agents don't focus on, but that is one of the biggest things that separates a good agent from a bad agent. I mean, you have so many people that just want to talk about all the good things and how pretty this is, or how you can lay out your living room. But at the end of the day, if you see something and and you can help them, and this might not be the house for you because of this, well, now
Yeah.
you got a client for life because
Yeah.
you didn't talk them into buying some shithole for that they're going to have problems with.
100%, man.
I think one of the key things I heard you just talk about is, having some coaching, some mentorships. That young guy that's calling you a couple weeks ago trying to buy a wholesale property that's on MLS
Sure.
that nobody's already bought,
Yeah,
right?
right.
At asking, so that's probably not the best idea. One of the things I come into your office quite a bit. I see your relationship that you have with your agents. And I think that's a big thing in this business. And Craig and I talk about it all the time. I coach real estate professionals, mortgage people. It's just that mentorship, right? Somebody trying to get into wholesaling or flips or real estate, just selling real estate or mortgages. Doesn't matter what it is. They really need to have a mentor, somebody who's done it, has a track record of it, proven to do that. And I think you do that really well, right? I mean,
Thank you.
Can you talk about, your desire to continue doing that and helping, the next generation grow and kind of take over? And, I have 3 or 4 people that I look at and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? These guys, they have all the tangibles. They're focused. They're laser focused. Like, what are some of the things you look at from somebody that's coming into the business that you can just see right off day one, that if they just put their head down, they're going to be a power player in the game?
Yeah, like the intangibles, right? The stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think we all, as successful business people, no matter what role you're in, or no matter the scale of how successful you are, you can always identify somebody who kind of has what it takes.
Yeah.
That magic sauce that you can't really describe. It's the big personality, or maybe not a big personality, but you're comfortable with them. Somebody that you want to talk to. Any sales is like that. Nobody wants to be just coached or pushed into doing something, right? When you're the client, you want a pleasant experience. You want somebody that, you can relate to, somebody that makes you feel comfortable. So I think if you have those kind of intangible things, everything else can be taught. It's a little bit of documents and it's not that crazy.
It's hard finding them and identifying them, finding it that I call it like the next Tom Brady. Like we're out there looking for the next GOAT, and it's like sometimes you look at it and you keep looking, and you put unrealistic expectations on people, and that's like the worst thing as a leader.
And I think sometimes those people surprise you. Like you think you have the picture of what that GOAT is, and then somebody comes out of left field who doesn't fit the description at all, and they end up being like a rock star. Yeah. So there's always some of that.
People are successful, with different personalities in this business. Like it's not just one personality. I mean, as a whole, you need to be personal. You need to be able to talk to people. You need to be friendly, but there's, different ways that people go about being successful. It's not just like one direction.
Of course.
Which is hard when you if you're one direction, you're looking for somebody to fit that model, but there might be somebody else that, maybe isn't even as personal, but they have a great way of, finding deals or talking to clients, either more via text message or, are really good at social media stuff, and they're going to get a boatload of business that way. So it's hard. I mean, and then also you need the drive for the people to actually want to put the work in, because your business, our business, nobody's going to come in overnight and be crazy successful the next day. Are they going to be able to make it that long to get to that point?
For sure. And I think that's another one of those kind of intangibles is being competitive.
Yeah.
Like people who are super competitive, if you see that they've won trophies or awards or they were outstanding at their last company or whatever the case may be, those people are hot. Like they're ready to go. You can't teach that.
We joke around. We're like, I wonder if they played sports.
Absolutely.
I wonder if they played even high school sports, college sports. They were competitive in some way.
And they were just
how they
as
compete with their
competitive
brothers
then
and
as
sisters, right? Yep. Like, I can guarantee you go to a Snell gathering around a holiday time, like they're betting on everything. I can beat you at this. I can do that. You know what I mean? Like this guy doesn't like losing to anybody. I already know this for a fact.
Trying to coach my son's 8-year-old basketball team is a challenge for me. I yell a lot.
I'm so glad I don't have to go to those. I think we should all just show up to
last night. I might want to go see one
last
of those
night.
games,
I was trying
actually.
so hard to just calm down a little, but it's just that competitiveness just comes out of you, and it's uncontrollable.
Yeah,
it is legitimately. I mean, we could be playing a backyard wiffle ball game, and I'm like, all right, maybe start off slow. By the end, I'm diving, I'm yelling at people.
Showed up to work the next day wearing an ankle brace.
Can't even walk, but it was worth it.
I know firsthand of this. We had a little party at my house. Got everybody on the basketball court, and Craig's going straight in, shoulder down, driving to the hoop, throwing elbows.
Can't stop it.
I love it.
There's no off switch
trying
on
to play
this.
against a freaking six.
I'm like, I'm going to let him go by, just block him after.
Go behind him.
I know, it's not fair.
It's not
No,
fair.
no. So on a lighter subject, like, what do you like to do for fun? I mean, dude, I follow you on social media. You have a sick-ass house that I was lucky enough and fortunate enough for you to invite me over kind of when you first bought the house, and I'm not going to lie to you and all our viewers. I usually don't show up to your house if you invite me in the first couple weeks or months that you buy the house, because I don't really want to go to the house. I showed up to Wojo's house. I had to call him like 3 times on the way there. It's like, where do you live? He's like, long driveway, no lights on, in the middle of nowhere.
Pretty much.
It's got big dumpsters out there, monster machinery ripping shit up, but dude, your house is transformed into like a palace over there now. I see your kids riding 4-wheelers through the woods.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
I wouldn't call it a palace, but it's a fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I wanted area. I wanted land. Could care less about what the house looked like at the time. Obviously, you could tell. I did a full reno there. Done everything to that place.
Cool spot though.
But yeah, the location is ideal. Ideal. We have a lot of fun there, riding 4-wheelers, and we got the reservoir across the street. Go fishing, put the kayaks in. So yeah, we have a good time.
It's awesome. Still in the middle of nowhere. So if he does invite you over, just prepare yourself for a full day. Yeah.
I had to pave a driveway, which is like a whole other street.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You have one of the longest driveways.
Yeah, and it goes in and all the way. Yeah, the whole thing.
Boy.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it was worth it. It's awesome. It's great for the kids to play and stuff. They ride their bikes and their skateboards, and it's nice and smooth. So it's cool.
Glad you brought that up, Wojo, right? So tell me about the little family dynamic. I know you're chasing Craig Snell over here, and you guys are having a little competition.
We're not going to catch you.
I win again.
Making that, you can have that one.
Yeah, I tend to beat most people on that one.
Yeah,
too.
no, that's a good one. I don't know if you want to get too competitive with that, because
I think the only person that'll ever beat me is probably
the Duggars. Wasn't that like a show? A bunch of kids, right?
I'm like, Craig, you have 4 kids. before the age of 32. I had my first one after 32. So I'm like, I'm not catching
I thought it
them.
was a competition.
Yeah, well, third one's on the way, July. So
Nice,
that'll be
man.
cool.
Congrats.
But that'll be 3 and done, I think, at that
Yeah.
point. So
No.
I may never know what
You got a
happens.
pretty good age gap between all of them,
We
right?
got quite the age gap between them. There's going to be like 7 years between all of them.
Yeah.
Like every 7 years, we decide to do this again. So
Just
maybe
when
in
you're
7
out of the
years, we'll
misery,
see what
start it all over
How old are
again.
you? 33.
I just turned 34 in December.
34.
So
Happy birthday, man. So yeah, you're due for another one at 40.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
41.
It's been the.
That's the dream.
I got a doctor that can fix that for you.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly advised.
Is that
Oh yeah, took care of
Yeah,
that. No
there you
more.
go.
We're not hitting
All right.
5.
yeah?
And we're not going to really get into talking about snip, snip, snip. But Wojo, if you're a little scared on it,
Yeah.
I'm backing Craig on this one. I'm like, it's probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I
like
only
if you're
cried,
done
like,
and
3
you're
times.
wrapped up, like it's good. Like
So when I came on this podcast today, I was expecting to be talking about things more like this.
yeah, you were like, hey, real estate.
You started
vasectomy.
off with like, "Hey, what's your background in real estate?" I'm like, "Wow, this is
I was like,
not what I
boring.
expected." There's gonna be more of this kind of stuff.
right to a vasectomy conversation. No big deal. Snip, snip, Wojo.
That's wild.
I love it. So back to kind of real estate and
Real, this whole thing. back in
mortgages.
now.
Yeah, reel it back in for
We
the
go out, we
vasectomy
come back.
conversation.
All right. I like it.
It's a little wild on mortgage daddies. No big deal. Where do you see your business? I know you're the broker owner of Remax franchise locally. Like, where do you see your business in? I don't like to go out past 5 years, and typically I'm like in that 12 to 24 month stage because going out 5 years, who knows, right? I mean, look at where you were 5 years ago. Look where I was 5 years ago. It's wild to even think like
Yeah.
that. Where do you see your
5 years?
your brokerage and yourself personally, like in the next 12 to 24 months, like the market wise, maybe
Yeah.
growing your agency?
Yeah. So I kind of see like a lot of the same of what I'm doing now, but just hopefully on a bigger scale. When I first got into this thing, I was all about like growing the agency and bringing as many people as I possibly could. I'm not really all about that anymore. I kind of like I'd like to have a lot of agents, don't get me wrong, but I'm very protective of like who I bring into the business now. We have such an amazing culture. Everybody at my place is like the coolest people in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't even believe we put that many good people together because I feel like the way the world is nowadays, like good people are hard to find.
It's hard, yeah. Trying to get
yeah.
20, 30, 40 people that all get along and don't have problems. There's
crazy.
no
Yeah,
drama. It's very hard.
We have none of that. We got a great place to come and work where everybody supports each other and everybody has a good time. So I'd like to continue more of that. Just maybe a couple of more locations.
Yeah.
And then I've been doing a lot more on the construction side of things. So with like flips and things like that, I'd like to start getting into new construction. I got a good relationship now with a buddy of mine, Dave Vermette, and he's been such a big help with a lot of my projects, helping me connect me with different guys and how to do pricing and get better deals. And I'd like to start building eventually, and he said he'd help me out in the beginning, kind of show me some stuff. So I'm
I actually
excited
need a
about that.
mentor, no matter what you do. If you haven't done it, find a mentor.
Yeah, no, he's been such a huge help. He's been so good to me. But I like the construction side of things, like even my own deals. Right before I came here, I was in a 4-family in Fall River that I'm renovating. We're doing all the plumbing, and I'm gonna do a lot of the plumbing with my plumber, my buddy Steve Battello, SB Plumbing. Guy's excellent. Actually, they saved me last night. Last night I got a phone call from one of my tenants. This is kind of going off topic here, but I get a phone call last night from my 3rd floor tenant, one of my buildings in Fall River, and he's like, John, he's like a 15-year-old kid, little language barrier, they're from Brazil, and he's like, hey, there's water coming down the stairs. There's water pouring down the stairs. So I'm thinking like a waterfall, like there's water pouring down the stairs. It wasn't that bad. But I'm like coaching this kid. I'm like, hey man, go down the basement, like shut the water off. We'll be there in an hour. So I made 2 phone calls. I called my buddy Steve, SB Plumbing, came right out. He was on the scene within an hour. He was in Dartmouth, dropped everything he did, went back to his house in Tiverton, got in his box truck, drove over. And then one of my best friends, Tom Martin, Quality Check Home Inspection, best home inspector in the area, guy's the man, called him up because he's got thermal imaging cameras. So if you ever have a water leak or something like that, call this guy up for thermal. You don't have to start ripping open walls. He just goes like this, finds out exactly where the problem is.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So it ended up being a dishwasher. So I'm en route on my way there. These guys show up on the scene. They got the whole thing figured out before I even get there. I turned around and went back. I didn't have to do anything, and didn't charge me nothing.
That's awesome.
But these are like again, like the kind of people that
Who you surround
I've
yourself
met
with,
and
yeah.
the relationships, like it's a blessing. It's unbelievable.
That's awesome.
But kind of circling back, like the whole construction side of things, I went to the house right before here. You know, we're going to be doing some plumbing. I'm going to be doing a lot of it myself, with my plumber, obviously. And then electrical stuff. I've been, doing little things here and there, just trying to learn that aspect. Framing, I feel like you got to kind of know the whole. You got to know the whole thing, and that's going to make me even better at being a broker and coaching agents.
Yeah. And when you start building houses.
Yeah, they go hand in hand too. If I'm going to sell them, I might as well know everything about them. Might as well build them. Might as well be able to fix them. Might as well be able to do everything. So,
Do you think there's less risk on doing new construction than like flips? I feel like you kind of know what your price points are after you do it a couple of times. You kind of know what the costs are going out. You know what you pay for the land. I mean, you could always have some things pop up. You thought you were building and digging into dirt, and it turns out to be ledge or something. But
yeah,
for the most part, I don't know. I've never done it, right? I've never had that desire to jump in.
I don't know too much about the new construction thing.
I would say
I've never done
more
one,
work in regards to like the setup.
Yeah.
I would say if you
The
know
plans.
I would say if you know what you're doing and you do your due diligence and you go into either one of them, then you should have a good outcome. I don't think anything should be that big of a surprise where it's blowing up your deal.
Yeah.
Then you must have missed something in the process. And if not, I can't really think about like something that big that would, just blow a whole deal up, unless the deal was really tight. But whether it's new construction or flips or whatever, if you're good at what you're doing, all the top players in those games, they're making money on all their deals.
Yeah.
They're not losing out on too many.
I think with new construction too, just from what I see, it's in volume. Like if you can buy land, split it up, build multiple houses, your profit
Absolutely.
level just went way up. If you got to buy one lot and you're paying top dollar for the lot, and then you're going to go put a house on it, you're not going to have as much profit.
Sure.
But some of those guys that can acquire some good amount of property, spend the money, break it up, but you got to know what you're doing and to make
Speed,
sure
too.
that you can do it quickly.
Yeah.
Because everything costs money. What I think a lot of people don't understand is, how do people do this? Not everybody has millions of dollars to be able to just put out right away to fund all these things. And when they close, they close. No, most of the people are borrowing money, either a hard money loan or some type of a loan from a bank. And that interest starts to add up very, very quickly. And that can eat into your profits drastically.
Definitely.
And that's one of the things that I find that a lot of people who are newer in either a flip, not a lot of people get into a new construction right away. So usually people start with flips and then kind of work from there. But with a flip, they look at it, okay, I can make this, we're gonna make 50 grand. Well, the project you thought was gonna take 3 months took you a year and a half because you didn't know what you were doing. You didn't have things timed out correctly. You move forward and then you had to take 2 steps back, and all of a sudden all your profit just went away, just in interest.
Yeah. And it's also like the phases of the project. When you don't know what you're doing things out of order.
That's huge.
And that's costing you a lot of money, because sometimes you're damaging things you already did. You have to go back and redo it. And then now, like, you did this first, so this other guy, now it's in the way. You have to know kind of
the order
of operations of the
and be able to have
project.
people that work with you to be able to show up when you need them to show up.
Oh, jeez.
You get into a flip and you're like, hey, I need a electrician. You call an
Absolutely.
electrician, he can't be there for a month. The whole project stops.
You got to have backup guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have your go-to crew, right? The people that you use all the time. Then you got to have some people ready to step in if they're busy, An electrician was a great point. My buddy Jason Duart, Duart Electric, he's probably one of the best electricians in the area. Does excellent work. All the inspectors rave about this guy. And he had a huge project that occupied 2 months of his time. But he told me beforehand, he was like, hey, man, listen, like, I'm not going to be able to help you out for a couple of months. I got all this stuff going on, so if you pick up any houses, you're going to have to refer the electric out to somebody else. But at least he told me.
Yeah,
what was
it
going on.
happens. It's impossible.
But if I didn't have somebody else ready to go, what am I going to do? Sit down, wait 2 months?
Carrying
Yeah,
costs
you
for
can't.
2 months.
Can't do that. No way. It's going to cost you thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. So
I think if anyone's like interested in looking into getting into something like that, partner with somebody that has experience doing
Absolutely.
it. Even if you don't make as much money in your first deal or your second deal, do a few with somebody.
at least you'll make money.
At least you'll make
At least
money,
you'll make
and,
money.
and you'll
And
be
you
able
get
to
into
learn.
education.
Yeah.
You might think but there's so many little things that come up that you're not going to be aware of, and then your project's just going to get delayed. You'll get it done in a fraction of the time doing it with somebody that has experience that can help you learn how to do it, and then go off. I see it all the time with people who get into it,
Me too, buddy.
and the people who
agree.
don't, and they try to do it. Usually there's somebody coming in to try to save it at the end
Right,
and fix
right.
it, and then there's no money to be made.
Right.
But
Then You lost it all.
Yeah, everybody wants to flip houses. HGTV, everybody wants to do it.
Sounds cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Not really cool.
Yeah.
You earn just about every dollar you do on a house flip. Like,
You do. You got to love it.
yeah.
You got to enjoy
You got to
it,
get in
so.
there, get your
It's time
hands
consuming
dirty.
too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't have the time.
Absolutely.
I've tried, dabbled in it a little more as a partner with a few people, and I don't really have any interest in doing it. I just don't have the time
Yeah.
to go show up to the job, make sure it's moving, and it
Yeah.
takes a lot of time.
If you got a good crew, though.
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah,
of-
once
if
you get it
you got
running.
somebody you can rely
Yeah.
on, then,
Yeah, I mean, the guy you're
if you
talking
can't be on
about,
site,
Dave, obviously, I know him.
dude, that guy's on site
And
every
So
day,
he bought.
multiple
I bought my
times a
house
day.
from him, as you guys know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's building the house right next to me, which my dad's buying.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about. That's going to be awesome. It's almost done. He is there. I don't even know how many times a day, in and out, checking on things, running things. The other night, I get home from my son's basketball game. I'm like, Dave, what are you doing here? He's like, I had to put a dehumidifier in the house. He's like, I had to do this. I'm going to run home, get this. He's always just to make sure that the project's moving as quickly as possible. And I mean, you have to. If not, things aren't getting done in the order they need to get done in, and you're losing money, you're losing time, and
Yeah.
he builds a very good product at a very quick time frame. I mean, I don't think anybody builds something that fast and at
With
that
the quality
level.
and the
Yeah.
level he does, no, absolutely not. He's got it dialed in.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he got? The 90-day guarantee? It's crazy.
Once the foundation's in, he'll have that house done in 90 days. All the finish work, everything. Beautifully, meticulously done. But, that's because he's on it. He's there every day, multiple times a day, making sure everything goes right. But that's his product, like we talked about, right? Like, when you're selling something and you have the product, you want to have a good product, I mean, you want to deliver the best of the best. So it's important to, like I said, in real estate, it's important to know all that stuff. Know everything about the property. It's just going to make you more dangerous out there.
That's, I think, really like his only thing he dabbles in, right? He only does new construction. I've never heard him doing flips or anything like that. I mean, for the
used
most
to.
part-
Started out
Yeah.
that way, I'm sure,
Well, like you said, I think everybody starts off doing
Yeah.
flips, and then if they really like it, unlike Craig or myself, and they really like doing flips, then they're like, oh,
it
let's
ends
mess
right
around
there.
with some
Yeah.
we don't
Doesn't-
go
I was
doesn't
good.
keep going.
I was good at that point. My wife's like, we should just build a house. I'm like, I am not building my own house or being part of that. There's a million decisions you have to make. I'm just going to buy one that's already done. Because
every single new client that walks into my office and says they want to build a house, I said, great, I can help you. I'll help you finance it. We'll go through the entire process. Only ask I have for you is you guys should really think about divorce attorneys. You guys should talk to them, because I have seen 50% of the clients that come in and start new construction within a year, either during that process or after, I'm getting a phone call, hey, we need to sell the property, because
Really?
I've had clients run out of money, right? You borrow $400,000 for new construction. You think you're going to be your GC. So you start doing all this. The wife gets, or the husband, right? I'm not picking on the ladies out there. Oh, the kitchen's coming in. We budgeted $40,000 for the kitchen. Oh, but I can get these faucets, do all this, $65,000. Oh, bathroom upgrades, this. Next thing you know, they're coming in for their finals. They have no lawn in, no driveways not completed. I've had new construction, no decks. They're just out of money. So now it becomes a financial burden on a young couple in their late 20s, early 30s building their dream house.
Yeah.
That turned out they're short $100,000. The bank's looking at it like the house isn't worth this when it's done. So we can't give you any more now.
Yeah.
The
I don't
stress
even-
comes in.
I don't know how people can get into a situation like that. I mean, it's being misguided, If you got good people behind you, that should never happen.
They're typically always want a general contract. I mean, that's for a whole nother show, but
Yeah, and they
get being your own
quotes on
GC,
things at this, and they want to upgrade, or this costs more by the time they get there.
and they don't
And it
have the
starts to
relationships
pile up.
with the plumbers and the
And they're
electricians.
paying top dollar.
Well,
for
that's what
everything,
happens.
too.
I mean, they're paying top.
This isn't
dollar
what they do for a living.
everything, right?
I tell people,
They don't
what-
know how much things cost, too.
No.
So they actually don't even know that they're paying top dollar.
I tell people all the time, when they want to build a new house, go find the piece of land, and I could be totally wrong. This is just my opinion. Go find the piece of land, have an architect draw up your dream house, and then go have a builder build it for you. Do not ask any more questions. Tell them what you want, have them build it all, and have them call you when you get into the 95% done, and it's like we need faucets and towel racks or something. Because
Yeah.
if you're in that transaction, when in that build too closely, it's not going to end well.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Then they find out how much they disagree on colors of walls. It's crazy what I've seen them fight over. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Just move on.
Buy a house that's already done.
That's what I said.
100%.
Much
Rehab it. Do
easier.
whatever you want.
Much easier.
It's the moral of the story. Well, I mean, if you know what you're doing, I guess it's different. But
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing, I wouldn't start building houses.
No.
So what's your golf game going to look like this summer with the baby?
Better than it's ever been.
You gonna just play all the time?
It's going to be so good. Yeah.
Wife will be home with the baby. Woj like, I'm working really late this.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna be good this year. I was good last year, so I think I'm gonna be good this year. Getting better.
You playing over the winter at all?
No. I mean, I'll go see my dad in South Carolina a little bit, and we'll probably go play a few times. But
Yeah.
it's not really much I can do up here right now.
Yeah, no. I just went down to Florida last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Little trip. Try to do another one or two, but before you know it, the winter's over.
So when you go on those trips and you haven't played in a while, it's either you play amazing or you play
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, this was the first year I played amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
So it made it more enjoyable.
Yeah, I got a hole in one.
Oh my goodness.
Broke 80 almost every day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what was happening. I bought a townhouse right near the golf course, so it was like in bed at a much decent hour. Got some sleep. It wasn't as crazy
Gotcha.
as the trip as it usually is for me.
Gotcha.
So I think that helped. But yeah, you never know where that ball's going to go after not playing for 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
it went in the hole.
That's amazing. That's all you can ask for, right?
Could get any better.
Well, you
than
can do that every time.
I'd retire if I had a hole in one. Like, I already am
never played
retired,
it.
so.
That's it. I've done it.
It was
Yeah.
cool. I did it.
Throw in
with,
the towel.
I did it with my dad and Eric and Steve Miranda.
That's
We were
cool.
all playing the first day practice round. The only reason why I went in was because I forgot my 7-iron here, so I ended up hitting like a hard 8. Otherwise, I would have never. Otherwise, I would have skied it right over.
That's awesome.
It was a funny story.
How many hole in ones have you gotten in your career?
That's my second. Yeah,
Wow,
I had one in the
nice.
spring when we were playing in a tournament. I was actually with my dad again, and we were playing. And when I got one, I got like a half of one when I was like 12. I was playing at Allendale.
How do you get a half of one?
I'll tell you a story. So
Is that a real thing?
So I hit it
The
in
ball
the water.
just went in the hole, came out.
So I hit my first one in the water.
Oh,
Re-teed
gotcha.
and then hit it in.
Okay.
So I counted as a hole in one until
Yeah.
I actually got a real hole in one.
Yeah.
Now I don't count it
So you
anymore.
made par.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a sweet par.
Memorable.
That's great. That's awesome.
I think I ran at that time a little different now. I get a hole in one. I'm like, hey, yeah, congrats. Now, when I think I was 12, I ran the whole
Ran to
way.
the hole, yeah.
The whole way
Yeah.
to the hole.
I haven't got one yet, so
No?
when it happens,
You're running.
I'm gonna run. Yeah,
I hope there's water. I just want to see you dive right in.
I'll swim across it. Alligator infested lake in South Carolina. I'm just gonna dive right in.
Oh, I know.
It's gonna be great.
The tournament I play in April down in, well, I'm not playing this year because we're going on our company trip, but it's like a member guest tournament, and whoever wins the tournament has to jump in the lake. I'm like, I don't want to win. I'm not going in there.
There's alligators in there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
No, I'm
That
like,
sounds
I'll-
terrible.
I'll throw it. Like if I'm in the finals, I'll just be like, eh.
I just caught an alligator once.
I feel like the last place team should have to jump in
Yeah.
the lake, not the first place team.
Crazy, man. I'm like, what is wrong with these people down here?
that's wild. Yeah, we my son did actually. He caught an alligator on a fishing rod.
Really?
Yeah, it was nuts. South Carolina. He really wanted to go fishing, so I took him. We were at my dad's house on the golf course, and some of the ponds there you can go fishing. So this little bench, we went fishing. As soon as that bobber hit the water, a gator came out and just whapped it. So he hooked the gator and reeled him all the way into shore. I got it on film. Wow, it was nuts. Yeah, we had to cut him loose. Obviously, I didn't know what to do.
Just cut the string.
Got him all the way to the shore, though. It was crazy. Yeah.
Wojo's on the back of the alligator.
Oh, it was nuts. Yeah, it was
Mojo's
crazy.
moving to Texas, South
And my son
Carolina.
was so excited about it too, and I'm like, "This is not the danger. Like, this is a real alligator." Like, but
Your poor wife.
yeah,
She's like, what are you doing, Wojo?
we're just out going nuts in the yard all the time.
Oh, man, I
riding
can only
ATVs,
imagine.
going crazy. Yeah.
I saw the one you got your son for Christmas.
Oh, the side by
Does he
side.
blast around on that thing?
Yeah, he has a great time on that thing.
Oh, that's funny.
That's something he was asking for something because he outgrew his go kart.
Yeah.
That's what we used to kind of do, just ride the go kart around, a little off road go kart. But now the kid's a monster. He's just turned 13 years old and he's 5'9", 195 pounds. Wow. He's a monster.
Yeah.
So we got him in like these football trainings and stuff. He's gonna be something. But anyway,
awesome.
but yeah, he's just so big. So I had to get him like a full size like pickup truck just to drive around. So, but yeah, we got him side by side. It's a blast.
That's
I love
awesome.
it, Yeah.
Well,
All right, my man. Well, thank you very much. You want to
Yeah.
play a little Jenga?
Sure.
I know you thought it was fake, but we'll show everybody that
I'm
it's
really
real.
good at Jenga.
Go ahead, pull a question, my man.
I just gotta pick one of these out.
Pick
here.
anyone you want. Just don't take like a top one because it's cheating.
If it falls, is that okay?
Honestly, nobody's ever dropped it. Yeah.
Oh man. What do I have to ask this to? You
That's
guys?
you. You have to answer
I have
it.
to answer this question.
Yeah.
It's asking me what is my biggest fear.
Alligators.
Jeez. No, that was
clearly not.
No, we
Alligator
caught that
wrangler
guy.
over here.
My biggest fear, man. Like I want to just say like I don't fear anything.
That'd be
just
pretty
a
tough.
savage. But Javier's looking at me in the corner like, my biggest fear,
Javier in a dark alley.
my
all those
actual
muscles.
biggest fear will probably never come true, and that would probably be failing. Failing at something I gave my all to, but that'll
That's a
never
good
happen.
one.
Yeah.
So,
What about you?
therefore, I fear nothing. I'm
My
just kidding.
biggest fear, I'm gonna have to go with heights.
Oh,
Like full disclosure, heights. Like my wife makes fun of me. I'll suck it up for my kids every once in a while. It's weird. I'll do some roller coasters because I have kids. I gotta man up and dad up for those.
sure.
But I was just out in Washington with my wife. We went up to the tower out there. They have the glass floor.
Oh, that's
and it moves
awesome.
around at the Needle in
That'd
Seattle.
be so cool.
Big guy wasn't getting on that. No, I saw that thing moving around. It was moving at like this speed. Not even moving. I had some random stranger like
So you wouldn't
30
go skydiving,
zero chance.
really?
Like
I
for
did
what?
that.
If
That
you
was nuts.
I look at it this way: when you have to fill out life insurance, and they're like, "Are you going to be doing like one of these three things?" And skydiving being one of them,
Yeah.
and they will terminate your policy. I don't think anybody should jump out of a perfectly good airplane. If it was crashing,
you got a perfectly good
strap me up.
parachute,
I'm
though.
jumping out.
I mean-
but like if they're like, "Hey, danger, danger" on the plane, I'll be the first one out of the chute. But I'm not jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. No.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah,
No chance.
yeah. I had some
Heights of-
second thoughts when I was up there, but still
Bungee
did it.
jumping.
I don't know
that's
if I
another
could do it. Like I like watch a movie and somebody looks over an edge and my legs tingle.
Yeah,
I don't think I could jump.
You ever
out
watch
of a
those
plane.
like videos of the guys that climb the cranes?
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff?
my legs just tingle
That's
the whole
crazy.
time.
See, I would think I couldn't do that.
No,
Like, I'm not
that-
climbing a crane
With like
on top
nothing
of a building.
attached
There's
to
no
you,
way
or
I'm
they climb
doing
the
that.
buildings.
I
I'm like,
can't go-
one
But
slip.
But
you're
jumping out of a
gone.
plane, that's not it's actually.
I mean,
really
I'd
fun.
rather do that than try to climb a building like
Yeah,
with nothing.
makes more sense.
Yeah,
right?
way
more people jump out
sense.
of planes. Yeah,
The rock climbers that I see, like I'm up in New Hampshire a lot. I don't even like getting to the edge of a drop off.
Yeah, what if I trip? Gonzo.
What if the whole entire
I
ledge
don't think
gives
it's.
out?
I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you.
No.
I mean, the plane thing and the parachute's not that crazy.
Yeah, I'd probably rather do that. But my man, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure. I wish you a lot of success with the business this year and
Thank
everything
you.
you guys want to do. And I look forward to seeing you build some houses.
Yeah, no,
Let's
I
go.
appreciate it. Man.
Maybe I'll buy one
Appreciate
from
it.
you one day.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Wojo.
I appreciate it, my man. Thank you.